Hi everyone, this is Mr. Gratwell just here talking about Hegarty Maths and our homework expectations this year, and I thought I'd do a quick presentation just to share with you on Twitter. If you have any questions at all, you can always email me or Miss Walsh as well. So, very quickly, I want to go through why we chose to do Hegarty Maths this year, and there's some really important reasons why we did. First of all, a lot of parents discussed this with us last year about the difficulty of calculation in Year 6, and so we really wanted to make it clear to people that we have an expectation in Year 6 about how we calculate, and a lot of parents have talked to us about that. So we decided to choose Hegarty Maths because they follow the expectations of Year 6, as well as saving you from teaching your children extremely difficult, complex maths you might not understand yourselves. So it also creates an area of independence for Year 6 as well. One of our main things is about those expectations behind independence, as well as resilience to doing their homework. And as they go into secondary school, it's important to develop that as independence as well. One of the main things we're looking at is consolidation. It's about looking at last term's or last year's work, and that's what Hegarty Maths did. Looked at the term before, so able to see things more than once, they're able to remember it easier. The calculations on there are really good, and the instructions as well. That Mr. Hegarty was actually nominated for the Teacher of the Year award, the International Teacher of the Year award. So his instruction on there is really clear, and it's a way of getting the children to understand really difficult concepts quite easily. As I said before, those links with secondary schools. So I know that Noah, a school in Banbury, have chosen to use Hegarty Maths for their maths homework as well. And so going on to Noah and those things, they'll be able to have a step into that life of being a secondary school pupil really, really early. And finally, it's able to give teacher feedback of mine and Miss Walsh's feedback instantly. So if there's any problems in terms of their learning, they're able to give that information straight away when they find things really complicated and tricky. Just about expectations of homework, we are going to hand out, we will set our homework every Thursday, and we expect it to be completed the Wednesday after. We'll give 2 Hegarty Maths homework there, and also a spelling homework, and also a reading or a literacy base, as well every week. We're also going to do reading records this year as well, and they'll come in on a Tuesday after they've read 4 times during the week. Us as teachers, our responsibility that we'll provide feedback for your child to ensure they're making good progress in their homework, and that homework isn't just a case of just doing something for the sake of doing something, but actually something beneficial for their learning, as keeping their progression going all the time. And also, we'll try and give them homework they'll scaffold their learning, so areas they might be weaker on, we'll be able to develop those as well at home so they can be more independent and become better at them. So finally, I want to just show you what Hegarty Maths looks like. You may have had a chance to look at it already, but I'll have a quick look here as well. If you've logged in already, the student login is really easy if you haven't done it already. It's very simple. It gives you the option to see their first name, so you type in their first name, and their last name. So there's no need for them to have any kind of email account. It's just a case of them just going on the website first time and logging in for the first time. 1st of January 1990, 2008. And then you just can make their own password first up. So I'm going to put password. I shouldn't have told you my password. And I'm in. Fantastic. This is your home screen. You might have seen this before with your child as well. And at the top here, I've got 2 tasks ready. So at the top of the screen, there's a little clipboard, and it says a task, and they're the homework that's been set by the teacher. So if I click on my task here, I've got 2 things I need to do ready for next week. So what I can do is I can start my task, and it will go onto this screen here. And what you'll find is every single module will have a video that's based about sort of 5-minute quick instruction to help them understand the task they're about to do. We recommend watching that video as much as they can. Even if they think the module's quite simple, they have a quick flick through, because quite often it won't be shown in the way they're expected to see it. Underneath this video, what you can find are introductory videos that are areas they might not understand as well. So if they struggle with the video in front they're about to do, there's always areas for them to work on before they go onto the video firsthand. So if they find the area stuff to do, there's always stuff they can do beforehand to get them prepared for the video they're about to do. So, I've watched the video, I'm now ready to do my homework. And now they can start the questions, and they just go through and answer the question they need to do. As you answer the questions, it will give them 2 chances to get it right, and if they don't get it right the second time, it goes in our session, it goes in our screen as being a wrong answer. If I quickly pull out of this then and go on to the top here, there's my fix up 5. Now, once you've done a couple of homeworks, it'll give you 5 questions from your homeworks that you find really tricky, you might have got wrong the first time. So the Fix Up 5 are really, really good to develop those areas that you find that are quite weak for you maybe, or for your child. Now, another thing that's really, really good on Hegarty Maths is that you can choose your own lessons. At the top you go to Choose Lesson. You can pick any area of the maths curriculum that you find tricky or your child finds tricky and go and work on that as well. So it's not just a case of you just doing the homework. If you feel like there's an area of maths we might have done in the day that you found really tricky, then we can go back home and you can do your own homework on your own area that you need to work on. Finally, there's the search bar, and you can search your homework that you want to find as well. Just one final thing then. If I go back to my tasks, I can continue my task here. Quiz. Now, I find this area, so I'm going to answer this question. Okay? And what it gives me the opportunity to do, if I answer the same question wrong twice, is I can leave a comment for my teacher. So if there's a certain area I find really, really tough, it gives me the opportunity to type my teacher a message in order to ask them and give them some more feedback about that. And essentially that is basically it for the pupil's view. If I give you a very quick tour of what we see as teachers, it might give you some idea about what detail we have Hegarty Maths for. So I'll quickly log in as myself. Okay, so as teachers, what we can do is we can actually look at your children's work and actually look for, there's my bit here, and actually see how many people have done it, how long they've watched the video, how many marks they've got, how long it took them, what time they did it. It gives us all this rich information to find out about when they're doing their homework. For instance, if a child comes in and gets all of the questions wrong or a couple of questions wrong, they haven't watched the video, it can give us that idea of independence again where they can go and say, right, why didn't you watch the video, why didn't you support yourself with your learning? It also gives us the idea of when they're doing their homework. So if they're doing their homework, say they're starting their homework at midnight or 10 o'clock at night, and times that are maybe a bit more antisocial, we can have that conversations with them about doing their homework at a time where they'll be able to focus. Also, we can have that conversation about independence and doing their homework rather than doing their homework on a Tuesday, doing it on a Friday or a Saturday before, so they're able to get it done before they come in on a Tuesday or a Wednesday to hand it in. It also tells us how many minutes it took them to complete. If they've completed their homework and haven't got many done, and they've flown through it in about 30 seconds or a minute, again, that's a conversation we can have with them about independence and working hard at their work. Hegarty Maths is a massive tool for teachers because it allows us to identify areas that children are not being independent in, but also give them support in those areas when they need it. The idea is if they get their homework in really, really early, maybe on the Friday or the Saturday, so we're ready for Monday, me and Miss Walsh can support them in their learning and again support those independents so they can go home again, give it another try, and then try again and get a better score. In terms of pupils that have not got the internet, they're more than welcome to come and speak to us about dealing with that issue. But Hegarty Maths works on almost anything. Any tablet, it works on a phone, it works on a laptop, a computer. It's really accessible for anybody. Now, if there's any question that you might have about the situation, about Hegarty Maths or anything like that, please come and email me or come and see me or Miss Walsh, and we can discuss any of those questions with you.